Linda's Pantry, and today I get to share a delicious low-carb vegetable soup that I think it rivals cabbage soup, and I may, if there's room, I might put some cabbage in it as well, but I'm using, instead of all that cabbage, I've got bok choy here, which I absolutely love, and like I said, at the end, if there's room in this pot, I will do some cabbage. So I've got my, this is my Curtis Stone 5-quart Dutch oven, basically. I've got half of a white or half of a yellow onion, 3 cloves of garlic, all minced up, 2 big stalks of celery, about a half a cup of grated carrot, 1 jalapeno diced up large, just like I did the orange bell pepper, a half of an orange bell pepper and a half of a green bell pepper. That bundle of bok choy, I'm going to use rotel, and in my pan, I'll show you when I bring you in close, is a, I've mixed with filtered water, some better than bouillon, beef, better than bouillon, and a tablespoon of tomato bouillon, which also has a little bit of chicken in it, and it just adds that extra little bit. I've got some smoked pepper, or some, not smoked paprika, but some chipotle powder, and some black pepper and some Mexican oregano. So it's going to have a little Tex Mex flair. And you can add shrimp to this, which is probably what I'll do. You can add chicken if you'd like as the protein. You can make pork meatballs, turkey meatballs. You can just do ground meat in it if that's what you want to do. But this is how I'm doing it. So it's a rivaling cabbage soup mix, and it will be 0 points if you're on Weight Watchers. And if you're doing keto, you just have to figure out whether this works for you or not. I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so come on in and I'll show you how I put it together. Okay, so as you can see, here's the lineup. I've got over here, I've already heated this broth up. It's going to be so good. So I'm going to add in my chipotle powder, and that little spoonful. You're only going to need, you don't want too much spice. This is half a teaspoon of chipotle powder. I did decide I want some smoked paprika. Whoa, I'm not going to put all that in there. So probably a half a teaspoon as well. And half a teaspoon of black pepper, or a little less. And definitely half a teaspoon of oregano, Mexican oregano. So I get all my spices in there first. And these are my spice containers from Tupperware. I've labeled them on the top. They have, you know, the sift side and the pour. I love them. It keeps everything fresher longer. So I'm gonna go ahead with give it a stir here and add in my rotel. I did drain it pretty well. Now you could use diced tomatoes. I could have used my stewed tomatoes, but I needed to get these off the shelf. So, and they've got peppers and all that in there, but let's start adding some veg. Let's get over to the stove. You want to? Okay, so I've got my rotel in there. I don't have much room, so we're gonna hope that we can get everything in here. I'm gonna grab my veggies. That's the jalapeno, the celery, the peppers. Oh, it's gonna be so good. And these veggies will cook down. I don't like to put the bok choy in until last anyway. I'll let these get a little soft. I like some of the veg to have a little bit of tender crispness. So yeah, we probably will not have room for cabbage, but oh, is this gonna be delicious. What a healthy way to have lunch. And for Weight Watchers, you could have up to 3 cups before it counts as a point. But I can't ever eat more than 2 cups of soup at any one time. That's very filling. It's super good for you, and it's a healthy way to drop some pounds. All right, so this has had a chance to simmer. I've got my celery right where I want it. I did throw in, I had about 3 green onions that I had chopped up that needed to be used, so I went ahead and threw that in too. Because there's not a ton of onion in here, but I tasted the broth. It is delicious, spicy, and aromatic, and I think I'm gonna add some cumin to it because I love cumin. And I didn't want you to miss out on what I'm putting in here because it definitely has that zippy Tex Mex flair to it, and I think that's the key when you're watching what you eat, that you give it a chance to have some flavor. So a heaping tablespoon of cumin. Okay, maybe even a heaping tablespoon and a half. And let's get that stirred down. And I know bok choy is not necessarily a Mexican vegetable, but I love it. Look at how thick and delicious this is. Oh, I cannot wait. All right, guys. I'll give this a couple of minutes and we're gonna serve this. I'm gonna serve this with some shrimp, and I'll show you how I serve it up in just a second. Okay, guys, my soup is done. I'm super excited to have this ready to go. I'm gonna dish this up, and look at that. It is honestly absolutely perfect. And somebody was asking me about my quartz countertops. I just want to reiterate, I always have a trivet and or underneath, or a wooden cutting board under anything that I put on my on here that would be hot, because you need to do that with quartz. So I've got these shrimp, they're cooked off. These are the red Argentine shrimp. So I'm just gonna put them, they're cold, but the soup is so hot that it really doesn't matter. It's gonna heat those up. I don't wanna cook them any further, but I do want them on the soup. Oh, doesn't that look good? Yum. I think I better get a picture. Okay, let me put some more right on top here, just to show that. Well, here's some pretty green. Yes, nice. Okay, now I feel like I've got it adorned properly. I'm gonna get a picture, and when it's not hot lava, I'm gonna get you a close-up and a taste test. Yum. Smells divine. Okay, guys, I've let it cool as long as I can stand. It smells so good in here. It's got that warm, earthy smell with the cumin and the spices. It just smells wonderful. It's brothy and oh so comforting because it is cold outside. So let's get a bite with a piece of shrimp, or a shrimp. And it warms the shrimp right through. They don't have to be hot. It warms the shrimp up. I want some veggies here. Give you a little flavor profile. Gosh, that broth is delicious. Perfect amount of tender crisp. It's not crunchy, but it's not, I mean, the bok choy is perfect. The celery, absolutely perfect. Let's get a bite of celery, hold on. Celery still has a little bit of crisp to it, and I love it that way. So you get all those different textures. It's got some heat to it. If you like it spicy, and I do, this is a winner chicken dinner. If you don't like spice, leave the chipotle powder out of this, because it could get a little spicy for you. And I chopped up my jalapeno, but I seeded it, so that's not adding the spice. It's more the chipotle powder and the smoked paprika. Oh my gosh, it's so good. All right, guys, I hope it inspires you to make something delicious that doesn't add to the waistline. I can have this whole bowl be stuffed to the gills and not one bit of guilt behind what I had for dinner. All right, we'll see you next time. And I've got a big pot of soup for the rest of the week for lunches. All right, bye.